Oop, oop. Big fish-ish, man. Y'all know what it is. All right, so we're going to get right to it. What we do in our off time is going to determine who we become and what we become and how successful we are in fulfilling our purpose. Let me say that again. What we do in our off time is going to determine who and what we become and how successful we are in accomplishing our purpose. So, there's a lot there, right? And when I talk about, in our off time, what exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about after work. I'm not talking about, things that you quote unquote need to do because obviously that's subjective or not, whether you need to or not do it. But after work, let's say, are you coming home? Are you working out? Are you working out before work? Or are you just watching TV? Are you just kind of hanging around? Are you on the phone gossiping with your friends? Are you spending time with your family? Are you reading? Are you working on that business plan you've been talking about for a while? Are you working towards your goals? Or are you just catching up on all your favorite Netflix shows and Snowflake and all these other shows out here? Give y'all time to answer. But and I know it can be, I don't know, we don't really recognize hard out here. We just look at simplicity or difficult rather than hard or easy. We look at simple as just something, it doesn't matter if it's hard or not. That I just want to simplify it. That means I figured it out. We don't really care about if something is hard. What it's all relative. So we got to figure out, maybe first and foremost, what our purpose is going to be, what we want to achieve, and be realistic based on what we're willing to sacrifice and the work, effort, energy, and time we're willing to put into it. But we have a lot of time out here, and maybe a good exercise for us all to do is to evaluate our current schedule so that way we can make some adjustments and alterations to have a more efficient schedule based on what it is that we want to achieve. So, that will point out and hold us accountable because a lot of times, what do we always say? Like, oh, I don't got time for this, or I didn't have time to do this today. But if you really look at your schedule, how long were you on Instagram? How long were you watching BS on YouTube? How long were you doing a bunch of stuff that if you were being honest with yourself, um, and you asked yourself, is this helping me get towards where I say I want to be? How much of that time and effort and energy is spent on those things compared to just stuff that is meaningful, is purposeless? All right, so the more that we focus on our purpose, the better we're going to be on focusing on making sure that our actions and activities and thoughts are all focused on what it is that we want to aspire to get to, our overall purpose. Amazing boat going by. I just had to put that in. I just had to absorb that into my thought process. So therefore, I can project that energy out so the opportunities come back towards me. So what time are we getting up? What are the things that we are prioritizing in our lives? We know that, a lot of us may have to work, 9 to 5s. Like, what are we doing on the way to work? Are we listening to music in the car? Are we just kind of taking a little snooze on the train? What are we doing? Because that's time that we could be spending getting towards our goals. We could be listening to audiobooks. We could be writing down our plans. We could be having conversations with people in our mastermind group. And my apologies if the sound is a little off. It's Miami, you feel me? So sometimes it gets a little noisy. It is what it is. Give me a sec. Let these. Those are the tow trucks, the tow boats. That's the Miami Towing Company. I'd hate to have to get towed on the ocean. I would hate to have to get towed on the ocean. But, these are the things that we're thinking about. and that we need to be thinking about. And the more we are obsessing over our purpose, the more we're going to want to do things during our off time and maximize our time. Maybe the better way to phrase it is to maximize our time, to become more efficient in achieving what we want to achieve. Because once we start doing that, we're just going to realize how much time we're wasting. How much time we're wasting during an average day. Get your sleep in, but once you're up, once that alarm clock goes off, maybe just get up, not snooze it a bunch of times. I was having a conversation about reading where, talking to somebody and they said they don't have a lot of time to read. And if you look at a book, let's say an average book is, 200, 300 pages. Let's say 250 pages. 250 pages. How long does it take us to read, let's say, 15 pages? It takes, I wouldn't say I'm a slow reader, but I take my time. I read a lot of pages twice. I process stuff. I take notes. I absorb information. I underline all these different things. I let my mind go to different places as I'm reading, and I take note of those things as well, because new ideas are going to come into my head, and I'm going to imagine different things in different ways that can help me get to my purpose. So let's say 15 pages takes, half an hour. So let's say if we just dedicated a half an hour, let's say 20 minutes. You want to read 12 pages, 10 pages to keep the numbers clean. Just 10 pages in the morning, and then maybe we got another 20 minutes before bed, reading another 10 pages. That's 20 pages. So in a week, let's say during the week, 20 pages a day, and then maybe on the weekend, we can up that to 30 pages a day or 40 pages a day. Let's just go with 30 and look at the numbers. So 30 pages each a day on Saturday and Sunday. That's going to get us 60. And then we got 20 a day, 20 times 5. That's going to be 100. So 160 pages. So that means that if we're just taking a short time out of our day to read something, to research by reading a book, we can have a 250-page book done in less than 2 weeks. So, think about it. You could break it down to even if you're doing 5 pages, during the week in the morning, 5 pages at night, 10 pages a day, There's really no excuse. It's more the consistency. And I took a note, matter of fact, here in my book. I don't even need to go back to the book. But that consistency is probably the best determinant of faith. You will be able to determine your faith in something, your faith in yourself first and foremost, based on what you consistently are doing and the time that you're consistently investing in yourself. So what you're consistently, and I'm looking for a word, but what you're consistently doing for the most part, and not for the most part, what you are consistently doing, I was looking for a word, but can't find it. But what you are doing consistently is going to show you and others your faith. First and foremost, you need to show yourself that you have faith in yourself and accomplishing your goals and your purpose. Because without that, nothing else is going to matter. Nobody else's opinion is going to matter. But it's also important to show faith to those that you consider in your mastermind. And a mastermind is a term that we've discussed before, but we'll elaborate on it more in the future. But it's important for those around you that you're absorbing energy from to understand and to believe in your purpose and to have faith in your purpose as well, because that very energy is going to come back to you. And it can come back to you with either them discouraging you from accomplishing your goal, maybe holding out certain opportunities from you because they just don't feel that you're ready for them, holding out different introductions. We see this all the time compared to when somebody knows that you're like, yo, I got faith that everything that they say they're going to do, they are willing to work for it and that they will eventually accomplish it. And I would love to, be a part of that success. So it all varies. But a lot of the energy that we put out, or all of the energy that we put out, we have to hold ourselves accountable to that. And the work that we're doing when we're, in our off hours, uh, it's important. It's important. That's how we get ahead. That's how we build the confidence to work towards something. That's how we turn what may be considered a hobby into our business, so that way we may be able to move on from our 9 to 5. But we just need to make sure that we're, taking advantage of all the time that we have here, because obviously time is the only resource, that really will. I don't know if it's the only resource, but time is probably the only thing that is of concern when I'm looking to achieve what it is that I want to achieve. I know that I'll get it. The battle that I'm facing is the competition, which I love the competition, is just a matter of time. How fast can I get there? Can I get there fast enough to where maybe some of the older people in my family are able to enjoy it as well? Can I get there fast enough to, when I eventually have my kids, that they can see it? What stage are they going to be in it? And they're going to see the grind. They definitely going to see the grind no matter what stage I'm in. But it's just very important for us to focus on what we're doing in our off time, what we're doing on the weekends. Are we going out for drinks? Are we just brunching all Sunday and wasting our time with people that don't matter, that aren't looking to get or aren't looking to get to the same purpose that we have, or looking to help us get to our purpose? And to each their own. Some people your purpose may just be, hey, I just want to go to work all week and then, just kind of have a little escape on the weekend and enjoy as much of it as I can. I'm not really focusing on building anything outside of that. Cool, to each their own. But for those that, really want to focus on a purpose outside of their, current just job, and something that, the bigger it is, the goal, the more it's going to take for us to obviously accomplish that. So, just something to think about. What are you doing during your off times, and what are some adjustments? Maybe start off with some minor adjustments that you can make that are going to put us in the best position to win and to get to where we want to get to. So, to each their own. If you're looking to overachieve, if you're looking to, I don't even know if I like the word overachieve anymore, but I'll say overachieve based on the standard that society puts on us. But if we're looking to just maximize and fulfill our potential, we're going to have to be very, very intentional about how we spend our time, effort, and energy, especially when it's outside of those, work hours. So with that, I'll let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get the, relax if you need to. Regroup. But make sure that we're spending a lot of time working towards our purpose and planning for the upcoming week. Be excited to attack Monday. Like, we should be itching for Monday to come tomorrow, not dreading it. So y'all enjoy it. And by enjoy it, I mean all the things that I just mentioned earlier. So y'all be good. Ew.